How's it going, EDC fans? Fuzzy here. How's your day going so far? It's Wednesday, so you already know what time it is. It is free agency coverage time. We only have 3 this week, but I think all 3 are fairly important to each team that made a transaction, because some teams are trying to fix their draft, some teams are just trying to coverage for the next week. So without further ado, let's go and get started. So the first transaction of week 3 does come from Cam J. Next, coach of the Brooklyn Magnets. He goes ahead and drops Hitmonlee and adds Leopard. Overall, I think that's a pretty good decision for him and his team. His team tends to be very offensive. If you look at it, it's Latias, Nihiligo, Weavile, Manaphy, Victini, Jolteon, and then Hitmonlee. You take Hitmonlee out, you add a little bit more utility to pair with your Skarmory or your Hippowdon or your Comfey. And that adds really good utility to your team. With Prankster, it has T-Wave, it has Yawn, it has Toxic, but it doesn't even have to be a utility. It has 88 attack and special attack stat with a 106 speed, so it can do damage and outspeed a lot of the meta. And it gets Knockoff, Play Rough, Seed Bomb, Sucker Punch, Foul Play, U-Turn, Shadow Claw, Iron Tail, and Gunk Shot to deal with fairies, Aerial Ace to deal with I don't know what you want to use it for. It also gets Nasty Plot and access to Dark Pulse and Grass Knot and a couple other special moves. So it doesn't have to be used utility, so I think Leopard is a really good Pokemon, and Cam J, great decision picking him up. So the second transaction of week 3 comes from me, Fuzzy, coach of the Chicago Bewares. I went ahead and dropped Amoonguss and added Porygon Z. I just didn't honestly think Amoonguss worked very well for my team. Its overall bulk is not that good. Like, when I think Amoonguss, I tend to think of Bulkymon, but it only has 114 HP, which is really good, but it only has 70 defense and 80 special defense. So, I think a lot of its bulk does come from its resistances from its typing, things like Electric, Fairy, Fighting, Water, and Grass, which are very prominent, types used in the meta. I just don't think being weak to common moves like Earthquake, because Earthquake one-shots it easily. So, it's a little spooky in that sense, though it does have Spore, so it is a little bit, helpful, and it does have Regenerator, so it could be useful on the right team. I just don't think my team was right for it, and I was thinking I do need some special attacking power, so I went ahead and grabbed Porygon Z. Decent bulk with 70 and 75 in defense and special defense respectively, 90 overall speed, so it's gives me a decent speed tier, and it has 135 special attack, so it can do a ton of damage. It gets adaptability to deal with your tri-attacks and even some sort of Normalium Z power. It also gets Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Psychic, Recover. So it has amazing move pool, and I just think it's able to do a decent amount of damage for, something like Amoonguss trading out of my team. So the third and final pickup of week 3 comes from Darksaber, coach of the Tampa Bay Trevenants. Went ahead and dropped Oranguru and picked up Clang. Overall, I do think that was a really good pickup for my man Darksaber, because Oranguru is mostly meant for doubles. It's slow, it does get access to Trick Room, and it gets access to Instruct, Telepathy, Symbiosis. A lot of his... He just screams doubles. He's a doubles mon, and moves like Instruct and stuff, they aren't meant for singles, so that's kind of why I think that it's a good drop. And Clang gives him a good fairy counter besides his Gengar. Clang also has good defense and 115 defense and 85 special defense. He also has 100 attack and 90 speed, so he can do some damage, he can take some hits, and he can outspeed a lot of stuff. He gives him some pretty good in that speed tier. Damage wise, he has a great move pool in Volt Switch, and a lot of setup like Autotomize and Iron Defense and Rock Polish, and a couple of nice and powerful stab moves. So I don't necessarily think Clang's something he's going to bring every week. I just think it gives him a good counter to fairies and stuff. So overall, very good pickup for my boy Darksaber. Alright, that's going to go ahead and wrap up week 3. We only had 3 transactions, but I think all of them were, meaningful to their coaches. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again next Wednesday. Goodbye.